VIP list.
Names?
Black and tan.
First name?
No first names. One of us is black and one of us is tan. We're a modeling team. Perhaps you've heard of us.
What's up, kind people of YouTube? My name is Ahmed and welcome back to yet another video. Today we're discussing Psych. I'll be fair. Psych is like having pineapple on a pizza. It's unexpected, it's quirky, and once you have it, you can't have enough of it. It's a mix of crime solving and comedy, and I think it's a perfect blend of both of them. In the case of Psych, it makes the show stand out a lot more. Just don't blame me when you get addicted to pineapple on a pizza, alright? There are multiple reasons why I love the show, and there are multiple reasons why so many people enjoyed the show as much as they did. One of the biggest reasons why I enjoyed the show was the chemistry between Sean and Gus is impeccable, and it's like having a Scooby-Doo crime-solving duo with more quips and less meddling kids. Also, there were a bunch of guest stars. I can remember Zachary Levi and a bunch of wrestlers that showed up. I'm a big wrestling fan. I'm big in general, but I'm also a big wrestling fan. And to see a lot of my favorite wrestlers show up on Psych was very entertaining. If you're looking for a show that'll make you laugh, cry, and dance occasionally, I think Psych is the kind of show that you should go and watch. Now, I'm not particularly sure where you'll find it. It was on Amazon Prime until I was writing the script. It's not currently on Amazon Prime. You might have to find other ways of watching the show.
Bruh.
The reason why Sean and Gus worked so well in the show was because of how different they were and the chemistry they had with each other. Sean on one hand is a free spirit, doesn't like to follow any rules, and Gus on the other hand loves following rules but is kind of a wuss. He just needs some sort of structure in his life to function properly. Sean on the other hand just generally despises structure, and the reason why they work so well together is they complement each other really well as characters and as partners as well. And that's what makes the chemistry pop off the way it did. Throughout the series, both of them work together to solve crimes for the Santa Barbara police, and it comes around when Sean solves a bunch of crimes for Santa Barbara police, and they think he's done it and he's just blaming other people to do it. That's not the case. The reason why he ends up solving so many cases is because he's a psych, hence the name Psych. The reason why the Santa Barbara police think that he is a psychic is because he has heightened observational powers, and that's because of his father. His father also plays a very big role in the series because of how he cultivates and helps Sean become the person he is. They don't have the best of relationships, but both of them do end up working together very well. Of course, you have the other characters throughout the show that gel very well with Sean. Karen being the head of the department for the Santa Barbara police, and then you have my favorite, quite easily one of my favorite characters on TV, Carlton. Two of my favorite characters are named Carlton. I think it's just the name Carlton that strikes with me. I just think the character of Carlton just works in very different ways. You have two characters named Carlton, one in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and one in this one, and both the Carltons are very different people. That's why I love the show, because it does such a good job in making sure that the characters are well developed. Sean's father Henry, who's been a police officer, helps Sean. Gus helps Sean in a way. Juliet, Maggie Lawson's character, helps Sean in a way, and they actually end up solving quite a bit of cases and then eventually moving on, and that's why the show works so well. Apart from the cast working well, I think another reason why the show did really well was how it was written. That it was written really well. The lines were funny, there were a lot of puns and clever wordplay that was involved. Secondly, the fact that it played on a bit of nostalgia of the typical 80s and 90s buddy cop dramas and took it up a notch. Like, every joke in Psych is cranked to 100 and then pushed a little bit. Probably be like, what are these guys talking about? Why are they cracking such absurd jokes? But then you get a hang of how Sean works, you get a hang of how Gus works, and you kind of realize why the jokes land the way they do. And obviously, one of the biggest reasons why it worked were the performances, which I mentioned earlier. But the final reason I think they worked was the ability to balance the funny comic aspects of each of the characters with the crime solving and actual detective work that they end up doing. There are so many moments in the show where they're just walking up randomly to interview people, and every time Sean just says a random name. I cannot tell you how many instances there have been where Sean just takes a random name.
My name is Sean Spencer. This is my partner Imhotep. My associate Donut Holstein.
Control Alt Delete.
MC, clap your hands. That is my partner.
Yeah, that's his partner, Methuselah Honeysuckle, which makes me Old Scratch John.
But then he ends up finding some clue from there, and that the balance between comedy and actual crime solving in an episode is brilliant. Mind you, each of the episodes is around 40 minutes, if I'm not wrong, 47 minutes runtime, and you don't feel those 47 minutes that it's running for. It's one of those shows where an ensemble cast works very well together and makes the show stand out. I do hope you enjoyed the video. I do hope you hit that subscribe button, and I do hope that you go watch this show as well. It's one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite comedies slash based, and see you in the next one really soon.